well, look at my cameras all wrong there. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot what I was doing. I turned the camera like, what am I doing? It's like, when you open up the dryer and everything stops. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. I wasn't what's going on. Oh, you're getting me on a bit on edge, right? A bit on edge, a bit stressed. I'll tell you why. I think I'm in trouble. But I can't be. But I think I am, right? I think I am in trouble. Let me explain. Yesterday was Sabbath. And on Sabbath you're offline, but you have like 2 big meals on Sabbath. One on Friday night, one on Saturday day, right? Like lunch. When we were all the kids were young, we used to eat early, like 12, maybe even earlier than that. Right now it's like 2, but also it goes later as well. Sabbath doesn't end until like, what was it, 8:30? Anyway, so it's always a big debate. What we're gonna have for Sabbath? We're gonna start working at the menu, right? It's always a thing, and it's a stress every week, right? So I don't know. Like my wife likes me to come up with ideas and participate, but she likes to say no to everything. I was like, "What are you in the mood?" I try and navigate. Anyway. Yesterday she had the idea, we'll have a deli platter, right? Deli platter, and what else we have? She made something like antipasti, like a little bit of antipasti, not huge amount, and a potato kugel. Now, potato kugel is a bomb. That's very dewy. That's when you know you're in real super dewy territory, right? A potato kugel is basically you get potato and you shred it and you mix it with oil and salt. All the favorite Jewish ingredients, oil and salt. It's more of your salty than your fishy, So you mix it together, you put it in a loaf and you bake it. It's very good. So we had that as well. Anyway, there wasn't. My wife said, "You know what I'm gonna make." Because she bought this corned beef from like a nicer place, and she was a little famished that it came out a bit crumbly, not much left, right? So it was harder for her to make a platter out of. Anyway. So he said, you know what? I'm going to make corned beef hash. I'll do corned beef hash tomorrow night for dinner. I'm like, that's really good. Because my wife doesn't, she makes dinner often, but she gets home late from work a lot. She leaves early and she doesn't eat a huge amount. But she just really wanted to use this up. So I'm like, yeah, I am up for that. I am up for the corned beef hash. That sounds freaking awesome, right? We like corned beef hash. So anyway. Oh dear. I can hear Ructions upstairs. I'm glad I'm down here for the next couple of hours. She may come down here for Mish. No, but I am hearing Ructions up there. So what happened is this. There's a bag, and there's like a few little shavings. So I was like, had that. It wasn't a huge amount. And so she said, "Where's the corned beef just now?" Like, I don't know, but that wasn't enough to make corned beef hash. It was literally like a shaving. I don't understand, but I might be in trouble, right? I might be in trouble. I recommend my younger son hit the road, right? Just get out and dodge. I hope he's left already. Run. I mean, if I should WhatsApp him that. So anyway, so that might be going down, really. Well, I'll say, let me have a listen. It's quiet. Okay, with any luck, my wife will find something else. But it's best I'm down here for the next hour or so, right? It's best I'm down here for the next hour or so. So good evening, good morning. I'm in hiding, right? So I don't get in trouble. Oh, my screen completely frozen. There you go. I'm in hiding so I don't get in trouble. That's basically where we are. And we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot going down. Actually, I haven't even looked. Is there any like Doctor Who news? It seemed kind of quiet. Let's do a quick googly search. Doctor Who. The TARDIS. It's okay to like that song. I mean, it is by a prominent paedophile. I mean, I don't know, but it's a good bloody song, right? Here, let's Let's share the screen. And then we are going to talk about the Orville in depth, right? In bloody depth. What's it? Which one is it? Is it this one? Oh, there it is. Is it opening? There you go. Doink. Doctor Who, does the Celestial Tornado really need to come back? Yes, we're all up for that, idiot. Shut up, bleeding cool, of course. Beat the Meat and other deep cut Doctor Who alien fans never dreamed they'll see on TV. Den O'Keefe, that's not a good article. We might look at that at some point. Fallout 4 mod add-on Psyche, no interest. Okay, we're still on Ryan Gosling somehow wearing a knockoff shooting gutward Doctor Who t-shirt, right? Somehow, right? I don't know how this is still a story, but it is still a story, right? Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, okay, so the story is Ryan Gosling, who knows shooting gutward because they're in the movie together, the Barbie movie, I think. No, also he likes Doctor Who. He's talked about Doctor Who a lot before, so I think he's a Doctor Who fan, right? Was wearing a shooting gutward Doctor Who t-shirt, right? A knockoff one. And that's the story. It's been going on forever, right? Going forever. The controls that divided fans. We are going to get to that tonight. I like that. Timeless Child gives Doctor a secret superpower. Oh, let's have a quick look how long that is. Right? I think I might want to save that for a video. Right? That looks like a real ranting possibilities over here. Okay. Oh, no. It's too short. I'm going to pair it up with something else. Don't worry. Screen Rant will say something stupid. Right? Screen Rant will indeed say something stupid. Right? What else is going on? Yeah, look, this is a t-shirt. I mean, really, Rusty Davis said he'll sue. I mean, like, it was a joke. It's okay. Oh, you know, I did a video about the third unmade movie, the giant crab movie. I'm gonna get the 10 best quotes. They're all good. Leave me alone. And this, I think we've already done. David Tennant. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that in a video. Fine. So let's have a look at the news. Any other news going on? It looks like it's quite quiet, right? Yeah, because I'm going to need a fair amount of time to take apart the Orville. Man, the Orville was bad. I mean, like, I found, like, offensively bad. Should we just go into that straight away? Maybe. Because I see, was it? Mirabalis is talking about it right now. Okay, I don't think Orville went full Groomer. Quite the opposite. Well, this is going to be an interesting argument, okay? Because I think it went full Groomer. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to wait till we actually get to the episode. This is like detailed stuff. Okay, fine. I'm going to come back to that when we get to the episode. Fine. Yeah, when we get to the episode, I will come back to that. Now I just jumped. Okay, let me get to the chat. Let me pull up some eye candy. Oh, yeah. We have a lot of eye candy tonight. A lot of unexpected eye candy. That's very important. Very important to the lesson we're trying to make. We'll stop the thumb, right? It's always nice to have a bit of a gratuitous Mandit. Now, of course, I didn't really get Jodie and Mandit to pose for these pictures. It's what we call in the business Photoshop. I always try and go for someone with comically large boobs with Mandit because here's the idea. She's I don't know what I'm not trying to work out the right word. Vaguely attractive. She could be attractive, right? But she's like really deeply unattractive, right? She's like, they really make her look as unattractive as possible in Doctor Who. Like that first episode, which is hanging upside down with Jodie. They both look awful. And it didn't help them, right? It genuinely did not help them. So I always sex her up way too much. And Jodie, I always look for somebody wearing rainbow something because it's just too funny. Hey kids, Give chemical castration a chance. You don't want to be a bigot, do you? And that's what I think this episode of The Orville was. Icky thump. All we ever tried to do was scissor in the tad. It's there, Dodie. You're even lame at being woke. Isn't that incredible? You're even lame at being woke. Tomorrow's video is surprisingly long, right? Does Doctor Who audio producer Big Finish have a death wish? A deeper look into some strange decision making. We're back, and this time we're going to make the 9th Doctor range unlistenable. The 3% of our customer base that live on Twitter will love it. I mean, I really don't know how much it's going to hurt. I mean, like, I really genuinely don't know. I have no idea of the sales data. I know on the Big Finish podcast that Nick Briggs said that the reason they reboot ranges is because they peter off in sales, right? So I can only imagine that was happening to Stranded. But I think the reason they petered off is because of the I don't even want to call it. Is it a translationship? Lesbian translationship? It's so confusing. They're two girls dating, and one of them has a penis. Okay, but they're two girls. Okay, fine. And one has a vagina, right? I guess. I don't know. I haven't looked. I mean, like, really? Oh, look at that. Yeah. Oh, what's going on? Let's maybe get to the chat. So we're doing that tomorrow. There's a few things, like, they're just... I don't know what they're bloody thinking, Big Finish. I mean, it's a niche market with a niche, audience. I'm surprised it has the ability to alienate whatever percentage I represent, right? Maybe I'm a very low percentage, right? I get over 100 comments from people who echo my point of view. I don't know how significant a number that is. I don't know, how to extrapolate that the actual numbers, right? It seems to me I'm probably quite a significant portion of the buying base. Of the people who will regularly buy Big Finish products, what percentage were put off by the Tanya Livchenko romance, right? Which was more than anything dull, right? Just freaking boring, right? Boring as bloody hell. It just slowed everything down, right? It just slowed everything down. Speaking of things being slowed down, Westworld has dropped a new season. Oh my god! Oh, it's so proud of itself. It's so impressed with itself. Oh, it's so up its own ass. Speaking of assholes, I like to be up. Oh, look at that! We'll have a bit of Nicola maybe tomorrow. I don't know when I'm posting this. But we'll just keep it there for a bit. I don't know why we get to the chat. I think that's probably a good idea. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. Hey, Doctor Who fans. Hello, fellow Doctor Who fans. Jordan Lee is here. Disney's new demographic is childless middle class adults. It seems to be, right? And it always seems to be people without children know how to raise children the bestest, right? People have no clue are the ones who know the best, right? People who haven't had a stable relationship, like Adrian Paletnicki, or whatever her name is, was the mouthpiece for white women, essentially middle-class white women in this week's episode of The Orville, I kept thinking, you just got married for and it was a month, right? You got married for a month to Scott Grimes. You're not somebody who should be giving anybody advice, right? And I know it's the character, but blimey, man, it's just it's a bit tone deaf. The Sun Ranger is here. Obsidian Curse is here. Paul Tozen is here. How you doing, Paul Tozen? Autumn Morales is here. I don't know if you're ready. Mark the Vicar is here. How you doing, Mark the Vicar? Stefan Amaro is here. Shalom, my brother. How you doing, my friend? Archibald Lazarus is here. The Rabbi has been fressing. I had, right? But it was like nothing. I'm not even joking. It was like nothing. I was like, there's no way you can make a meal out of that, right? There's no way, right? It was nothing. I'm in trouble. I think I should be calmed down by the time we go upstairs, but I don't know. Might go long tonight. Talking groomers, has this gone through the courts so it's not libel? I have upped my campaign against Deutsche Bank. I'm not getting involved with that. It gives money to Shakespeare's Globe to make them positive, give them positive PR. I don't know anything about anybody but Deutsche Bank. I will accept bribes, of course. Look, it's much easier to bribe me than intimidate me. Listen, to intimidate me, you've got to pay people and stuff. Just pay me half of what you pay somebody to intimidate me, and we're all good. I'm gonna do it anyway, right? I mean, like, you're stronger than me, so here's the plan. Whatever you're paying somebody to intimidate me, give me half of that. You just saved half your bloody money. You're welcome. I should charge you for that. Yeah, okay, give me 60%. You give me an extra 10% now because I gave you the idea. You're welcome, right? You're welcome. Is here. I wonder if somebody in Deutsche Bank going, yeah, he has a point. Bruno, you are fired. Yeah. Darren Evans here. Darren DC is here. Obsidian Cuts, you're still here. Amber Heard Castle Zarani. Well, nothing can go wrong with that. I will believe she's a bitch. I mean, that'll be that's really where her acting career needs to go now. Yes, Sissing is always consistent in saying stupid things. Screen rant. Sorry, they are. You can always rely on them. You can always rely on them to be dumb. Just dumb. Just dumb. I just jumped. Who was that? Okay, fine. Whizzing through the chat. Cam's Crash Course is here. How are you doing, Cam's Crash Course? Thank you for joining us. And that other Harry, I'll let your name, that other Harry. Hello, that other Harry. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. I hope you're having a pleasant evening. Chris Pershaw's here. Haven't seen you for a while. So nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Smack that line, says Chris Persia. And you know what? I can't argue with you when you're right, baby. I cannot argue with you when you're right. And I've got Tzvi asking for money that was meant for someone else. There's a joke here, but I don't know if we'll go around it. What was they doing? Who was asking for money? I can't remember. Fine. There's also coming up soon. We're going to have. I think I'll put this out tomorrow. I like Strange New Worlds. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I am totally won over by it. Right. This was a great episode. And it was a great episode because it was great bloody characters. I'm into these. There's one shit character. Okay. Fine, you can have one shit character. I mean, she's a bit too bloody prominent. But, and now they've got an Asian helmswoman. Where's she come from? All of a sudden, she's been there. I'm like, what? Who? I mean, like, why an Asian helmswoman? Really? I mean, really? That's bound for jokes, isn't it? I mean, like, why not a bloke? How about that? How about a bloke every now and again? Bit of blokage? Oh, God, please don't have the next chief engineer be a woman. Oh, God, the balance will be off. They could blow it. It could be blown by next episode. It could be, but I like it, right? I like it. Have a good request. Can you start reviewing Superman and Lois? It's absolutely brilliant television. I kind of faded out. I got up to episode 8 of this season. And it's just like, it's dragging a bit. I mean, not as much as the Orville, but okay. But it is dragging a bit. Fine. You know what? We got, before we start with the Orville, we got to like back up. We got back up the track, right? I don't think Seth MacFarlane's an evil person, right? I do not think Seth MacFarlane wants to be bad. I think Seth MacFarlane wants to be a force for good. I think most people want to be good. I think that's I think that's a drive we have. All human beings have. A candle flame is an analogy for the soul, because a candle flame always is going first. It's non-corporeal, but it's always going up, right? Going up. And that's, I think, our basic human nature is wanting to do that. But we have a very physical nature where we want to go down, and we want people to go down on us lots and lots and lots. I can't argue with that. But I think Seth MacFarlane wants to be a force for good, right? I think he's being a fool to a genuine evil, right? Genuine evil. Okay, so there's a lot of sexual confusion in the world, right? There's a lot of sexual confusion. For example, the ideal of what is beautiful, right? So let's look over here. So young men nowadays, a 13-year-old boy is being told this is beautiful, right? This is beautiful. This is beautiful. And listen, not unattractive women, don't get me wrong. I would like to shag all of them. Okay, maybe not actually, but anyway. But it's not the ideal beauty that is hardwired into humans, right? So a 13-year-old boy is just saying this is beautiful. He's like, I'm not really turned on by that. And then he's told, oh, that's gross. Oh, you sexist pig. Oh, you pig. You like that? I'm like, oh, that's gross. Oh no. Oh, that's so gross. No. This is normal, right? This you're a weirdo, but this is normal. So it's frozen. Hang on. I mean, it's not the greatest tragedy. Okay, we're back. It's little wonder there is sexual confusion. Well, now add into that, we have unlimited free pornography, right? And I say this on my video I'm putting out tomorrow. It's not a popular position saying unlimited free pornography is a bad thing. It's generally speaking quite liked, right? That's why we have it, right? It kind of happened in the 90s, right? And then everyone was like, let's just be quiet. No, quiet. And there's an episode of Friends like that where they get free porn playing on, and they're like, we can't turn the channel off, right? It's just the way it is. Because it hasn't been good for society. I think growing up with that is very confusing for girls and boys, right? I mean, to have that be the sexual ID. Listen. What pages is Rabbi looking at? The lingerie models, not the other ones. I'll tell you what. Actually, I found it here. I'll put it back on. So this one, I know on my video today, I pulled this up. I got a clue, right? This is funny. Well, over here. Where is it? Tonight's girlfriend. Why is it only tonight? Honestly, you don't want to split up with her after one night. I would stick around, right? I would stick around. I really, tonight just seems a bit brief. It just does. Anyway, I digress. So this unlimited free porn, right? And people are growing up with this and thinking this is what sex is. And listen, porn is fantasy, right? Generally speaking, and it's from what I can tell, it's a fantasy that's spinning more and more out of control. I don't know. When I was a young lad, there were 3 types of porn. There was girl porn. That was the best porn. There was girl boy porn, right? And there was girl boy porn, right? You don't want boy girl porn. That's a bit gay. You have a 1 penis limit, right? That's what now. You get vacuum cleaner bukkake grandmothers.com. It's too much. There's too much specification. You should use your imagination. There's too much specification. Anyway, I digress. Oh, one second. I need to close that window. Doink. Good. So I just don't think it's good for kids, right? I really think it's bad for. Now, I'm not saying get rid of porn, but I think you need to put it behind a paywall, right? And I know it sucks, okay? I know it sucks, right? But I think that's what we need to do as a society, right? We did that. It was up until the 90s. It'll be fine, and you don't have to go to a dirty bookstore anymore, okay? Count your blessings. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's good for society. I think kids are getting missed out. I think kids are getting confused. And I think there's a big push to make people believe they're sexually fluid or gender fluid when they're not. Right? I really believe that that's what's going on. for several reasons, right? But if one is a student of history and you look back at the 1930s in Germany, right? It was a popular opinion that Jews were not people. Now, why was that a popular opinion, right? Not because they're all insane racists. I guess sort of they were, but not because of that. It's because every authoritative source said that, right? Every news, every official news, every academia, the intelligentsia, the artists, they all said it, right? They were all like Churchill was an outlier. They didn't like Churchill. He was this uncouth, ruffian. Oh, he didn't go to Eton. Oh, I don't know what it was. They didn't like Churchill, right? They didn't like him. He was really, really way too uncouth. Yeah, and they were basically the CNN, MSNBC, Twitter, Facebook of today. They would all love, that little German chancellor, Mr. Adolf, right? They would have all loved him because it was so fashionable, right? I mean, look, there's a reason the king, right? The young, very, very fashionable king, what's his name? Liked Hitler, right? There was a reason he liked it. That was normal in that world, right? History is written by the victors, and we forget how popular it was. It's as popular as I think Nazism in the 30s was as popular as the trans movement is today. I'm not comparing them. There are similarities. There's similarities between everything, right? But it's very it's that strong, and that's why I think. Firstly, people who are adherents of that, right? It feels safe to be that way. Like, it feels very scary not to be that way. Like, you don't know what's going to happen, right? So they will only listen to the authoritative sources, right? Because if you go out of that, it's scary, right? It's scary. That's why but they can't go out of that because everything falls apart if you question anything, right? If you question anything in any way, it all crumbles. It all falls apart, and this is what we see from tonight's episode of the Orville, right? Everything absolutely falls apart upon any real examination. Now, the stupidity of this episode is they actually counter argue what they're trying to argue, which is probably what Ultimate Mirabalis was saying. Here we go. Let's pull it up. She cried. The real treasure is this episode looks freaking beautiful. It's the best looking episode of the Orville ever. It really genuinely is. But oh god, it's written with this such deep stupidity, right? Just such incredibly deep stupidity, and it's not like you know what? Before we get into it, let's talk a little bit more about how confusing it must be to be a kid, right? Here, and we're going to look at some video. Where is it? Hang on. Oh, it's taking forever to open up. Okay, it's really hanging. It's going to take a few minutes. I think it's one of those days. And we're going to be looking at. What's it called again? Like footage from the recent price. Oh, actually, I can look at. I got some pictures in there. Maybe that'll do it. Hang on a second. Download and now I'm frozen. Oh, is it working? No, not yet. I can put this over here. Doink. Yeah, okay. Let me pull this up. Let me turning this off though. It's a shame. Here. 1 second. Share screen. We keep hearing the expression family-friendly drag show. I don't think that exists. I don't think that's a real thing, right? So this is a pride parade that it's a hell of kids in. They say there's lots of kids there, and there's guys. How You know, what two people want to do, or however many people want to do in the privacy of their bedroom, fine, or a privacy of their own club. Or whatever. This is public indecency, right? And this is, I mean, even if there is a box over his dick, I don't know. This is still public indecency. It's a confusing time to be a child. See, we have here a drag act being highly sexualized, and the circle is around these two children. And the parents sit around and they like, what is wrong with these people? Like, what do they think children are? It's beyond me. It's genuinely beyond me. Let me see if I can get those videos up. Let me see if I can get it up, baby. Oh, come on. Yeah, maybe if I search, I do MP4. That might make it like forced to a wake up. Because it's really worth watching some of these pride parades. It's insane, right? It's insane what's going on. Like these kids in drag shows performing for adults, taking money from adults as they disrobe, right? That's not okay. Right? That's not okay. I don't think this is what people want the world to be like. Yeah, I don't think this is how people do that. I mean, listen, the horrible, boring truth is this: that if you really want the best life possible, most fulfilling life, best sex possible, right? Then you remain a virgin till you get married. Have the only person you ever touch be your spouse, right? And honestly, the sex will be better. And get married so you get so you have children, right? I mean, again, I understand. So there are people who can't do this, right? I understand that. This is not a condemnation of anybody who this is an option for, right? And it doesn't work out. I'm very, very lucky that it's worked out for me, right? But then you have children and you struggle together, right? And you work together and you raise it and you make the people, right? You make the people. It's it's very hard, right? But there's no pleasure like that, right? There's no pleasure like that at all. So here we're going to look at a few. I'm not sure. There's some one I was on the. There's one I'm really not going to show because it's too rude, right? I think we'll get in trouble. Let's look at this one over here, right? They say, what little kid next to me at the prize said, what the heck are they doing to that bear? This is not okay. Right? This is highly, highly sexualized and like, this is something that children should not be subjected to. All right? It will confuse children. This will confuse children. Right? I think it's designed to confuse children to a certain extent. This teacher says exactly that. Here, let's look at this.
Day looks at me and goes, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And I was like, no. What do you think? To which she said, "Oh, a girl." And I was like, "Oh, why do you think that?"
Yeah, I mean, listen, I will be surprised. No, she's a girl. I don't know what she presents as.
Because you have a girl's voice. To which I looked at her and went, "Okay, and what if I drop it an octave?" And she just went, "So you're a boy?"
Yeah, okay. She's this is a teacher actively confusing a child about gender because she has a very abnormal gender, or he, or however they present. I don't want to misname them, whatever.
And ran off.
And the point is, your voice isn't an octave lower because you're probably a girl. I don't know how you identify, but if you identify, if sex and gender are the same thing, which is it today or not? I can't tell. It's all about if sport's going on or not. Then your voice isn't an octave lower for a reason.
Jamie, confusing children since who knows fucking when.
So how's that a good thing? I ask that, how is that a good thing? Confusing children since who knows when, right? I don't understand who's being helped with this, right? I don't understand why this is okay. But I really think it's serious, right? I mean, like, this is a confusing time and a strange time to be changed. And so if a child says they're going to do something that's a little bit abnormal, yeah, well, look at this. Let's see. Is this a... There's one I really can't show. I'm going to stop it as soon as I start. So, but my computer keeps freezing. Oh, yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this is too much. Right? That one was too much. And I can't believe... Okay, that was... Yeah, but it was a undressed person, basically, with a child doing a drag act. Okay, how's this okay? I like, what do you think a child is? What do you think sexuality is? How is any of this okay? And don't get me wrong, it's not me that's lumped this together with every other non-cis sexuality. You know, it's the queer alliance. If you there's they want everybody, like gay people, to be the same. I don't think they are. Right? I think gay people are as appalled to this as anybody else because they're human beings. And look at that, how is this okay? This is public indecency. Let's see what else we got. What's this one? So this is a kid doing a drag act. And they start holding out money for the kid. How is this okay? How is this not going to hurt children? I mean, really? I don't want to be one go, oi, the children, right? I don't want to be that. But, but oi, the children, right? Right? Oh, much of money out here. We're about to get to the episode, right? We're about to get to the episode. Fine. So, as I said, it's very sadly, it's the best looking episode they've ever done. It looks beautiful. So they're on this planet, and there's this Indiana Jonesy type temple there, and yeah, blah 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 blah. Who cares? they're treading ground until they get to the story, which they're aching to do, right? And they go in. It's a bit Indiana Jonesy, and like Seth, mate, Seth. You bought a woman or your girlfriend on the show on the first season, and then you booted it off, right? And did you break up with her at the time? It seemed like you did. Now you got a new girlfriend, and she's on the show, right? This looks a bit Me Too-y, right? It doesn't look good, and it also looks like you got a type, right? You like small blonde girls. Okay, I get it. We understand. So Isaac's like, oh, there's lots of traps. You've got to stand back. It's very Indiana Jonesy, and all these things fly. And they actually had humor, right? They had humor this week. It's so sad. They go in, they find this big treasure trove, and okay, up on the ship. They're talking about all their stuff they found, and then on the simulator you have Topa, and he's doing the no, it's obviously a she, by the way. I mean, like, you can tell from the first time you blink, it's a girl, right? If they identify as their sex. If I don't know, I'm not assuming. This is just whatever. So big action sequence. Oh, look at all the money we got. They keep showing the money, right? And vessel destroyed, and it's a little girl. We get it. Everybody gets it. And he bangs a fist on it, and she gets cut. And then what's it? Grayson, Adrian Palacki comes in, looking very fit. I have to tell you, very, very fit. I can forgive a lot now, right? If we had a little bit of nippage, we might get away with more, but we don't. And that's just the way it went. So they talk, and he's like, oh, I was doing the simulation, and I mean, I have to say she because it's so obviously a girl. I was doing the simulation, and because I want to join the program. This kid was born 2 seasons ago. Right now, it's 14 for some reason. Okay, fine. I mean, Next Gen did that a little bit, but like not this much. So anyway, and he's like, it's great that you're becoming the, learning how to, you wants to come to the Union Academy or whatever. And I tell you what, you can shadow me around if you want, and it'll be, you can learn that way. And you get good experience that way. Emma's here. How you doing, Em? Thank you for joining us. So the Orville, New Horizons. Yeah, the New Horizons is woke garbage, apparently. We should have known it was going to go woke by the second episode when it was boring, right? That's always a sign of wokeness, right? Being very boring. Lots of money. Way, I don't remember the thing. Tale of Two Topers. Oh God, I hate this episode. So, Idiot White Woman has Topa running around, and again, her character has cheated, and she has never had a stable relationship. She's never had children, but she knows everything. Oh boy, does she know everything! Again, she is the white suburban woman that still votes for Biden, right? Putting $6 a gallon gas in the car. Well, at least we don't have mean tweets. God. It's unbelievable. This is exactly what they will not capitulate to reality whatsoever. She knows and everything. Oh, and this is my job. Oh yeah. So now we got to stop and denigrate religion because what's life without denigrating a bit of religion? So this guy has the ridiculous religious custom of not wearing clothes on this day, and she's like, so he's like. Can you basically says put pants on, and it's like, well, what if you can't do that? At least maybe say confine you to quarters or something like that for the day. But how do you know that isn't a violation of his religion? Because it doesn't matter because it's not real, right? Because the only thing is real is the way what they think, and here you see what they think of this episode, and that's not real. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a silly backward man who likes religion. So she's just being stunning and brave, the best as ever. And they go, hey, Toba, how you doing? And Norm Macdonald, how sad they saddle him in this episode. So yeah, she's talking about being in the union or whatever. And he said, I've always felt there's something not right about me, something a little different. Have you ever felt that? And now this character was born a woman, and clearly not, because it looks like it was turned into a man, right? Without their knowledge or consent. So it's Seth MacFarlane's point worldview. There's no difference between that and somebody who says, "Oh, I was born into the wrong body," right? There's no difference between somebody who's physically altered into a different gender and somebody who says they're in the. He thinks it's the same thing, but he doesn't really understand. To make this conceit work in fiction, he's got to put in a reason for them needing to change, right? Like why Topa? What why not? One of the doctor's kids, right? Because it doesn't make any fucking sense when you turn around and say, "Oh, this dick is that was a mistake." But yeah, why you would say that nowadays? Because it's a bit confusing, right? I mean, how confusing? Let's just go back to the confusion for a second, right? If you are a 13-year-old boy, right? You're told all masculinity is bad, right? All masculinity is the worst ever, right? And toxic. It's toxic, and you're told this is beautiful, that's beautiful. What's wrong with you, pig? You don't like it. This is beautiful. Wool women are beautiful. Oh, they're so beautiful. Now you know that unlimited free porn, right? Yeah, that's gross. Don't look at that. There, if you get turned on by that, that means there's something wrong with you. You're probably trans. If you're getting turned on, really? Well, that will convince me, quite frankly, right? And if she didn't, she certainly would. Well, basically, whatever this woman tells me, I'm going to be like, okay, then. Yeah, right. It's. I hope she doesn't tell me anything bad because I have no choice, right? Weirdly, these ladies don't have the same hypnotic hold on me. I don't know how, especially her. Like she's like, what am I doing here? I am beautiful. Yeah. I'm sure some find you so, right? And I'm happy for your spouses to find you the most beautiful people in the world, right? But that's called being hot. Okay, that's the difference, right? Right? It's a confusing time for a young man, right? It is a confusing time. So is there anything weird about me? Like, I don't know. Am I the wrong gender? Maybe. I don't know. So anyway, so in this this is again in Seth MacFarlane's mind. What a wonderful, stunning, and brave teacher goes through when a kid says, "Hey, I don't like ugly, disgusting women. I like hot, slender women. Maybe something wrong with me." So, have you ever tried sucking a dick? Have you? Well, give it a go. Give it a go. And that's kind of how here's a book called Genderqueer. It will tell you all about it, right? But no, this is how they said, help me. Oh, I can't go against the parents' wishes. It's not right, but I want to help. She goes, can you help? They're like, well, not really, we can't. Oh, but I'm sad. I'm a white woman. I'm a suburban college educated white woman and I don't have what I want. Ugh! Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. It really is that. Meanwhile, Bortus, she goes to see Bortus and Clyde, and Clyde was like, what the? What are you messing in my life for? No, I'm a white woman, and I want to be good and help. I'm a white woman. That's how it works, you see. I see the border, and I saw AOC took a picture crying next to it. I heard it was fake, but it doesn't really matter. The sentiment was right. And I felt bad. So I want open borders. Now, I do understand there's been a huge spike in child pornography because there's been a massive wave of trafficking of children's sex slaves now. So a few hundred children have to be raped. But I'm a white woman that wants to feel good about myself. Right? That's what's going on. How long is it? How you doing? And he's like, get the hell out, right? And he's like, we have to tell her that it's okay, that's good to be. And he's like, shut up! This is it. But of course, he's the bad one, right? Oh, I have no reason. And he says, it's all because I was born a female too, and they changed me. I didn't want anybody to know. It's going to be bad for them. Like, and he expresses genuine love. And this demonization of parents. It's disgusting. It's never their own kids, right? Socialists, they don't want kids. They want your kids. Yeah, they said they're coming for your kids. They weren't fucking joking. They weren't fucking joking. So meanwhile, it just goes ploddingly, slowly in the direction you know it's going to go because she's a white woman. As he's like, oh, I'm not allowed to go and shadow you anymore. I can do the captain. So the next day she's over here. Says, hi, yeah, I'm banging Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, I know that. It seems to me that's the only reason you have this job. Right, he wrote this character for you. And this is what the aliens used to look like from the what's it called again? From the planet they're surveying. Fine. She sees Isaac, goes up to Isaac, and says, "Oh yeah." He asks him about when he killed himself. Like, what was it like being dead? Tell me more about being dead, because I'm thinking of killing myself. Because again, this is not what Seth MacFarlane wants to be saying, right? I don't know about Deborah Watley. I don't know what that means. Victoria from Doctor Who. Oh, Deborah Watley's awesome. Dick Sergeant York says, one day you will have the courage to speak your mind instead of holding back and sugarcoating everything. One day I will. Hopefully. I am hoping for that. Come out my shell. Anyway, so she's should we say he? I know it's a she. Oh, is it like me because she wants to kill herself? Again, this is so stupid. This is so freaking stupid. Like, the only way it makes sense is they change their sex at birth. He did again. If you want to do this analogy, Seth MacFarlane, you should have done one of Claire's kids. Like, I'm a girl, right? That's what he should have done. But no. You had to make it make sense, because here's the reason you have to make it make sense, because you're making a fiction. And when you make a fiction, it's got to resemble reality. And if reality doesn't resemble reality, you can't have it resemble that. Weird that is. So anyway, so he goes to talk to a white woman. I'm a white woman. Oh, she's going to kill herself. I'm worried about that. But he says, don't worry. I will tell everybody we're not sleeping with each other because I'm visiting you after hours. So now, okay, this is making my skin's crawling, right? This is a Groomer 101. This is how they see themselves. This is literally how they see themselves, right? I hear you having a hard time. You should have some tumbuk cake or something. Now, somehow the file about her being transformed from a boy to a girl, or a girl to a boy, I should say, was called tumbuk, the name of this cake. He said, but there's lots of different tumbuk cakes. You should research them all. Yeah, okay. Why are you interfering? Oh, I remember, because you're a white woman who thinks you know better. Again. What's the long-term effects of this gender reassignment surgery that you're strongly pushing on children? Well, I mean, honestly, what is the long-term effects of it? A double mastectomy is permanent, right? It's permanent. The risk of infection and changing your genitalia is massive, and you're going to stay on medication the rest of your life. Plus, how many people are being coerced into this by being told that up is down and black is white by everything, right? I'll remind you, right? The entire area of Germany and Europe, until they got scared, thought that Jews weren't people. That was all cool, right? They really did. Why? Because every authoritative source says it. So, boys, if you're being told that by every authoritative source that gender is fluid, and if you're not, they're weird, right? Every authoritative source is telling you that. You're going to try it out, and then you're going to try it out, and you go, yeah, okay, I'll give this a go. And you're going to have, and you might have, irreversible gender surgery, a chemical castration. That's what the medication does to you. You might well do that, you come to kill yourself because you can't do it, right? I would like to see. I would propose this, right? I think the volume of people genuinely trans are compared to the amount of people not trans. People who are trans are really 0.3% of the population, right? So if you suddenly have 20% or 15% of the population becoming trans, right? And 0.3% are really trans. So let's say you have more people who are experimental will come out are actually genuinely trans because it's a more open environment. So 0.3% goes to 1%, right? You still got the other 14% of people who have adopted being trans. Do you see this allegory for detransition? No, that's not what they meant. You're being too nice. How they change the gender of a child who grew up. No, I think you're being way too nice, problem being, right? I think you're being too nice. I think they meant it in the simplistic, stupid way they did, right? So let's say, that 40%, let's say what, half of them kill themselves. You got an epidemic, but it's okay. That none of that matters. Nothing matters. Why? Because a white woman feels bad. Oh, I'm a white woman. So she gives them the information, right? They said, goes back and said, you want a chombak cake or whatever. So he goes and she looks up, what they called again? That cake, whatever it is. Kimbok, right? And so he says, whatever the files are there, Kimbok says this one called Kimbok 33. And it's got a password protection. You can't go in. So she makes a cake, or he makes a cake. And suddenly the password turns up. Oh. So he reads the password and finds everything out. So I don't think, this is a powerful detransitioning, especially coupled with last week's episode, which I think was pure Trump derangement syndrome. I think this is what happened. I think the reason this was a haven, reason this was a safe space for us, and it really was, and I love those first 2 seasons for it, right? It was one of the only ways you could go and get normative science fiction that wasn't lecturing you, is because Fox stopped them, right? Seth MacFarlane kept saying, oh, it feels so good being away from Fox. Oh. And now are they with Disney, right? Of course Disney's going to be in the bag for this nonsense, right? I really I think this show has just destroyed itself. I really do. Rabbi, the industry of the 60s was impressive, right? What, this comic book industry or TV industry? We will agree, but was based on the established mentality of the time. So too TV shows these days are under the control of an oppressive woke dictator. We absolutely are. I didn't quite understand most of you said, but I think we are under the control of oppressive woke dictator. And again, such a shame because they got so much money. Although, I'm telling you, if you want to see something beautiful on your screen, Star Trek Strange New Worlds in 4K on a 60-inch screen, gorgeous. I mean, it is. I can't tell you how gorgeous it is. The glow of the impulse engines in the trailer, I like go weak every time I see it. And the grills on the back of the nasal. Oh, God, it's so good. It's so gorgeous, right? I love that. I absolutely love that. Explain it, discussing it in Prolator. What gives you the right to have that on this site? What's wrong with it? What are you upset about? The Cyborg Rhino. You're more than welcome to go. Do you want to come on and talk about it? Let me finish this review. If you're still in the chat, okay, let me know how to get in contact with you. You can come on. We can talk about it. We'll give you the right. Oh, okay. No, let me just pull up the thumbnail for a second in case nobody has seen it yet. You should see the other thing I was showing. Here's a look of beauty for you. Yeah, you're gonna like this. Oh, so beautiful. Yeah. This one. Because I'm taking the piss. I'm taking the piss out of Amanda and Jodie. That's what's going on, right? I think you spelled nonce with 1 O, but you know. Groomer. How am I a groomer? You're a weirdo. Here we go. Doink. Let's get rid of you. Does that work? Oh, an error occurred. Yeah, do I have to go in to do it online? Could any of the mods boot him? Thank you very much. So anyway, let's go back. So Scott Grimes has got space mumps or something. It was funnier when Lister did it, quite frankly. You see, here's the thing. You know, they got me not well inclined to it, right? They got not feeling warm about it anymore. Like last week was a really rough week, and this is really much worse for me because I really don't think they're talking about detransitioning. I think they're definitely talking about transitioning. So she's like, I think I did a bad thing, and told him about the cake. So he was going to play. That's the game where the spike comes through the hand or whatever. That's kind of a fun game. And have you seen Topa? I do not know. And so they go and the kid confronts them and says, "What's going on?" And Clyde wants to lie, but Bota says, it says, "No, you go." And he says, "We loved you before, we love you now," right? And Clyde is like, "Look, We fundamentally disagree with this, as you know my feelings, right? But again, imagine that we're talking about a kid who just says, you know what, I want to have life-changing surgery at the age of 13, right? The age where you can't have sex legally because you're not considered competent to make that decision because you're too young. Believe me, they want to change that. They want to change that. They want to take us to Rome. These are really, really, really bizarre people. So Kleinen comes in and sees it, and then, yeah, you just see the hatred of the left, right? They absolutely hate anybody who doesn't agree with them, right? They really and they just want to go in their face and have power over them. Look, see, I'm a white woman, and I got power over you, right? Because I disagree with you, and all I want is power over you. And he's like, "This is my child that you're mutilating. Yeah, you have no right." Again, no, I'm a white woman. I'm a white woman, and I want this because I want to feel good about myself because I'm a white woman. So don't get in my way because I'm a white woman. I hate you. Oh, I hate you. Again, Adam Blacking. Do you have any children? Right? You just got married to Scott Grimes. How long did that last? What, a month? If that? How pathetic. You know, I would have thought, given that your personal life is such a complete failure, right? You wouldn't take on this role, but of course you're a white woman, right? And like, look at me, I have power over you. And she lunges and go on, I have complete power, and I can grind you into the ground. Oh, I'm so stunning. I'm so brave, she says to herself. Oh. Porter says, yes, you were right. You were stunning. You're brave. I know. It's hard being a white woman and doing the right thing because I'm a white woman who thinks I should get the fit. You have no, like, again. Yeah, honestly, probably, I really don't see it that way. I really, really don't see it that way. I just don't. So yeah, Porter says, "Oh, so sad. I understand, but it's okay. You have the compassion of a white woman. Oh, so compassionate, so white, so woman. Hear me cry. So what's anyone who wants to be left alone? But of course, she'll talk to Commander Grayson, right? Oh, I'm your only friend. Don't listen to your parents. Chop your balls off, darling. You'll be fine." No, just take these pills. Will they melt your balls off? Yeah. Yes. Oh, that sounds good. Well, I hope they give you the pills to melt your balls off. Oh, thank you so much. So then she says, let me make this worse. Let's make this a lot worse. So she takes us to show a recreation of the tribunal where she was forcibly changed or not allowed, whatever. I don't really understand how this race has continuation if they only have one gender, but they actually have two. And she sees, oh, look, there's a woman. Oh, I want to be like that. Yes, you do. You can be a white woman too. Okay, not quite as white as me. But oh, look at her. You can be such a white woman. Nearly. Yeah, you can be a white woman's pet, right? You can be a little like purse puppy. So she now wants gender reassignment surgery, right? I want to be. You're already a woman. It's already obviously played by a little girl. So he's like, you are absolutely trying to kill my kid. I can do what I want. I'm a white woman. God, I mean, I really hate this show now. Fine. So Clyden says, I'm going to leave you if you do this. There's no way I'm staying. And he's like, well, and Claire's like, I think we need to talk to the captain, don't we? So he's trying to get everybody calmed down, I think. But yeah, he's basically like, I'm going to leave you if you do. There's no way we can do this. He's like, well, obviously you mean to do it. This is a 2-year-old baby. I mean, literally, they had the kid. They hatched a kid 2 years ago, right? Looks like an 8-year-old, right? But Yeah, I don't want to tell you. It's obviously they can make these life-altering decisions, right? So then, we got to, you know what we got to do? We got to talk to Admiral Fat Black Woman, because like ever since Discovery now, as Stacey Abrams, everybody in authority has to be a fat black woman. In fact, let's go over here for a second. This is going to be the next chief of staff right here in the military, right? Yeah, this is there's a bunch of military commanders right here, just a bunch of them, right? Because that's what you need nowadays to be a military commander. You need to be a fat black woman, and God bless you, you're all beautiful, darling. This is gross. Oh, so gross. Little boys, you should like this. Okay, that's what you should like, little boys. But that's the world we're living in. That's the message they're giving. So then she says, yeah, you can't do gender reassignment surgery because we need borders, right? We need whatever their planet is. He's like, no, you don't understand. I'm a fat black woman. I'm in charge, baby. So off flies but they're waiting for another ship to turn up. Well, listen, I do hear in the chat people are very much saying, no, this is the absolute opposite. I'm open to being wrong, right? I'm open to being wrong. I would like to be wrong, but I just don't think I am. Right? Maybe I am. Like, I'm not being dogmatic. I am being dogmatic about it. I'm being less dogmatic than I normally am about it. I think that's fair, right? So anyway, he said, but it's not fair. The fat black woman told me, a white woman, no. Well, you do understand she's a fat black woman. That means she's more important than you. Yes, I do understand that. So borders, we can't do it here. We're not allowed to operate it. Says no. Now you must live a boy. And I still firmly believe that Steph McFarlane sees no difference between her being born a girl, being turned into a boy, and being born a boy. Right? I really believe that's how he sees it. I'd love to hear his commentary on this. Right? He seemed very smug, and he seemed like is a very transy message. Anyway, so back on the planet, and it looks so freaking gorgeous. Can I just say again how freaking gorgeous this episode looks? Right? It's really nice. And she's getting fixed. She got a cut. She's Seth MacFarlane's girlfriend. Better clean her up. Hi, I'm Seth MacFarlane's girl. Yes, we know. That's literally the only reason. Hey, yeah, we know. That's the only reason. Yeah. How's Topa doing? Tell her we're all pulling for her. Yes, because we all are, because she's a really girl. And Claire's like, we got to find a way around this, right? And they're trying to think about it, and then Isaac comes on and says, I can just do it. I don't work for the union. Right? I didn't put it. There wasn't any nudity. So I don't work for the union. I can totally do the surgery. He's like, but if anybody knows about it, we're not allowed to do it. Okay, and so the captain orders him not to do the surgery. So if he does it, he's doing it completely against orders, right? So they're all covered. He's saying, okay, we got a big show tonight. Borders is going to do a live presentation. Apparently he's a singer, and he's never sung before in public. He's going to do it just for us, right? So everybody has to RSVP, and they fill up, and everyone's going. Yay, you're going to hear Borders sing. And in comes Norm MacDonald. Oh, Norm, but it should come to, please don't let this be your last performance. This piece of garbage. If I have interpreted it correctly. And then Claire and the white woman, Grayson gives each other a look through each other. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen. And then again, if you wanted to do this, you'd have that kid become the want to become trans, right? But again, here's why I think they're doing it this way round, right? When you create fiction, it's got to have some kind of logic to it, otherwise it falls apart. And so if they chose this kid, it'll be completely illogical. But according to the left point of view, it's more like this kid, right? So Borges is, I don't know, he sings a bunch of songs that are tied into this. I can't even remember what they are. I was just fuming by this point, right? So Isaac goes and gets Topher and says, "Okay, take your clothes off." He's like, "What the fuck? I'm scared." And then, in walks Clyden to stop him, and he's like, "Okay," he gets beaten. Like a parent, I would die first, right? Then let anybody do this. I would be put in prison. I would let myself be killed. There is nothing I would never stop, right? Because this, I believe, is damaging my kid, right? And I would do whatever I can. But no, they throw him out. So then he does the surgery, and then I can't remember. He does these show tunes. She wakes up. Oh, and she's a beautiful girl, and she's happy now for the first time ever. And then Admiral Blackwoman shows up and says, "You were bad and didn't listen to me, right? You don't understand. You're a white woman, we're a fat black woman. That makes me more important than you, right?" And they chew him out, and then she leaves and says on the way out, "Well done." Basically, it's so stupid. Oh, I hate it so much. And they go, "Oh, that's over with." They should have both been fired and put in jail. Meanwhile, this is the home they broke, but it's not. It's just because he's bad and mean. It's not because he has a point. It's just she hasn't mutilated herself. It's just because he's a bad, evil person. And then they quote the religion back to him and said, "Oh, shouldn't you be more forgiving?" It's always people who don't understand religion wield religion. I hate that. So then we have a little thing with Claire and Isaac. He says, "Well, I wasn't being really altruistic. I thought everybody hates me, so I thought I'll do this and people will like me again." And he's just like very, very honest about it, which Claire likes. Says, "Would you like to go for dinner?" And then they go out, they're back together again. The ship takes over, and then she gets a call, said, "Toba, please come to the bridge." Goes to the bridge and said, "Would like you to hi, we're so proud of you." This is so much like somebody who's transitioned, not detransitioned. I'm sorry. I don't think you're reading this right. I think you want to like the show, and I don't think you're looking at it realistically for what it is. Right? I might be wrong. Honestly, if Seth MacFarlane comes out and says this is the thing about detransitioning, fine, right? But I just don't think it is. So come, we're so proud of you. Hi, I'm so proud of myself because I'm such a good human being. And she sits in the captain's chair and says, and he says, "I don't know, make it so," or whatever. Whoosh, and off they go. And now she's fulfilled. Oh, yeah. And I just think, I really fundamentally believe this is an allegory for transitioning, not detransitioning, right? Look, red number one, mate. If it's bothering you, you need to just hit the road, okay? All right, you worry about it. They don't give a shit, okay? They don't give a shit. Trust me. Yeah. Look, I just think this is a very, very firmly a thing about transitioning. Seth MacFarlane supports gay and lesbians quite rightly. So every sane person does, right? But when it comes to forcing transitioning on your kids, he's against that. This episode seems to be he's very much for that. Again, if anybody can provide me information, right? Or if you're watching this later, I'm going to clip this out and make a video of it. If anybody's watching this can provide me information that this is about detransitioning, I will 100% recant without even blinking, right? Without even blinking. But I really, really think that it's not fair. Let's hear your commentary. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Hopefully it's still there. Whoa. Fine. Let's hear what you have to say. This is all Autumn Mirabilis. The recent Orville show focused on the gender of Topa was brilliant. If the left took it at face value, they'll be outraged because it basically attacks gender bending and false puberty. I don't think so. I think they're doing it. I think they're saying the exact opposite. But tell you, it's good for having the conversation, isn't it? Right? It's good for having the conversation. Blocking sex change leftist nuts jobs that parents allow to happen on their kids. This is all about. This seems to be all about a kid transitioning, having gender reassignment surgery, gender affirming care, not detransitioning. The studies show by doing so later in life, those who are made to early decision aren't happy and commit to try to commit suicide. Yeah, overwhelmingly, yeah. I referenced a case in the was it Hopely or something? This real sick guy. The media suppresses those stories because it doesn't conform to the woke message about trans kids. The reality is now being trans is a fad, is a trendy thing, but woke. It's also the insurance company is making a lot of money out of it. What woke parents go to? Yeah, listen. I mean, we it's always been a tradition. There's the prophet. What was the idolatry? Molech that people would sacrifice their children to, right? It was an idolatry called Molech that people would have sacrificed their children to. This is that. I think. Parents go too far and make it an actual medical procedure. Insane. Still, that Orville episode, they confront Clyden and his ideological brainwashed mind. This is the way propaganda works, right? I really should have opened with this. The way propaganda works isn't saying you should think this, right? They have a point they want to make that stopping children transition is abhorrent and evil and hurts children. That's the point they want to make, because that's the belief they have within society, right? That stopping children transition is abhorrent and causes suicide, right? So that's the point I think they wanted to make, and that's the point I think they were making in this. So yeah, and they always want to say parents who oppose it are just evil, reactionary, right-wing, religious fanatics, right? That's what which is how Clyden is portrayed. They don't give him a side at all. They just portray him as an evil, two-dimensional religious fanatic. This is why I think this is pro-transitioning, not detransitioning. So he gets her original body back. I don't think they thought of it that way, right? You know when they say trans women are women, right? So they just, for them it's same as if he was born male, right? But again, if you make it into fiction, you got to have it make some kind of sense. And if you follow left-wing orthodoxy, trans orthodoxy, it doesn't, right? For those who are born cis and want to be cis, Councilman Skim, or fine with being born the gender they were born as. So Disney owns Hulu, and what Disney is, they snuck it under the radar. I really fundamentally disagree with you. Fundamentally, I think the story they wanted to tell was a child wanting to transition and facing opposition from a parent, right? I think that's the story they want to tell. And then they transition and they what's the word? And they bloom, they sparkle, right? I think that's 100% the story that they wanted to give over, right? Yeah, that's genuinely what I think. By the way, can I ask everybody to hit the like button? I was just quickly looking at stats. But listen, we've really got to hear. Seth MacFarlane won't be able to stop himself talking about this episode, right? They won't, because they need to preen themselves. And we'll find out. We will find out, right? I hope you're right. I just don't think so. I really don't. Once plans to write and passing, they mask themselves through the guys that won't messing. The irony. I think it's too ironic. I don't think that's what's going on. I think what's going on is they were giving a very woke message. Again, the story they wanted to tell was a child wanted to. When a child wants to transition, you must let them. They are not confused, regardless of how freaking insanely confusing we've made the world for children. and how much we continue to make the world confusing for children. Once again, especially boys, right, who are told masculinity is bad and are told this is beautiful and this is gross. This is beautiful. This is gross, right? And why she's only tonight's girlfriend. It's just, if anybody can answer that question, we want to know that you should avoid breaking up with her. That would be my suggestion. Okay. So there you go. So honestly, that's what I think is going on with the Orville. I think the story they wanted to tell is a child wants to transition. You shouldn't stop them, and if you do, you're a religious fanatic. That's the story I think they wanted to tell. That's why I think it's totally jumped the shark. That's why I think it's totally and completely jumped the shark. 5. Let's get to the next story. Oh, move on. Moving on. Where is it? Okay, yeah, we go. Doink. 1 second. What's 433 mean? What is that? Is that some kind of weird code? What's 433 mean? Fine. Let's look at. Okay, as we don't know. Let's look at this story from What Culture? The 10 controversies that divided fans. From Genesis Daleks at the end of time, Doctor Who has plenty of controversies. So that only really has one. The close second will be the unit dating from Maldron Undead, but we kind of let that go. Right? We was like, we'll work it out. Doctor Who is one of the most passionate and enduring fan bases in the world. Millions of Whovians have stuck around through hiatuses, cancellations, wilderness years, and 2 or 3 rough patches. That was me. And I bought it again on Blu-ray, for God's sake. I bought season 22, 22 and 23 and 24 on Blu-ray, okay? That's how much I've stuck around. I paid for them again after buying them on VHS and on DVD. Man, you got to work hard to alienate me as a customer. Big Finish, I hope you're watching. Where we are. 2 or 3 rough patches. Like the Master of the Daleks, this fandom never seems to die. And there's blah, 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 blah. Come on. So 10 fans. Let's say, was the end of time a satisfying send-off for the 10th Doctor? Not really. I have to tell you. I mean, the final send-off was good, but the story leading up to it, the villain never really worked. The guy, what's his name again? Black actor. Was in Homeland. What's his name? English actor who's in lots of American things, playing authoritative figures. They never really worked, and the whole the cactus people. It was okay, but honestly, Doctor Who. I would say Rusty Davis Doctor Who peaked with Journey's End. Yeah, I think that's the one. That's the one where they all fly the TARDIS home, right? I think that's really where it peaked. With David Tennant dominating the Doctor Who news cycles of late, it's good time to revisit the topic that has seen much debate in years since he left the show. Was his final story, The End of Time, actually any good? Oh, it wasn't The End of Time, though. What's the name? Jonas End. Actually good? Or was it a hot mess that didn't give arguably the most beloved Doctor of all the send-off he deserved? Well, listen, it goes better than Logopolis, right? Which is much improved on the Blu-ray. Really is. It's much improved. You'll often find people saying that The End of Time has a bunch of terrific moments peppered throughout. That's true. The 4 knocks, Rattlin's confrontation, the Doctor's Time Lord lives too long speech. Don't remember that. The Master's plotline is far too silly. Kind of. The Doctor's farewell tour, self-indulgent, yes, and drags on way too long. And the sub-villain, Joshua Naismith, is a complete waste of time. I don't even remember Joshua. Oh, yeah, that was the guy I was talking about. The whoever he is. Elsewhere, we find the Doctor's final line. I don't want to go Viz heavily into cringe territory, while for others it triggers the waterworks. Yeah, Triggers the Waterworks if he was your doctor, right? If he was your first doctor at Triggers the Waterworks, and he was a lot of people's first doctor. In general, the story's emotional beats the people praise the most, from the doctor's realization that Wolf is trapped inside the radiation booth to Jeffrey Noble lending the doctor some. That was a lovely line when he lent money for a lottery ticket. Top bloke. Thanks to Bernard Cribbins and David Tennant's incredible performances. Yes, that's what sold it. Oh man, those scenes when they were together. That's when that story was on fire, right? That's when that story was definitely firing on all cylinders. The massive beating heart of hearts at the center at the time that does paper over some of the cracks. But coming off the waters of Mars, thrilling, complex storyline, it's not hard to wish Ten's conclusion had been a bit more engaging, in the narrative department. Fine. Okay. Yeah, I never really heard that debate before. Are we going to the next page? Yes, please. Hello? Come on. There you go. Could the Fifth Doctor have saved Adric? Would he have wanted to, quite frankly? Let me make this a bit thinner. Oh, if only I could do that to myself. There you go. Oh, that's better. Could he have saved Adric? No, he couldn't. It was spiraling through time. He was trying. This Cybermen had blown up the console. Cheap piece of crap that it was, right? But that all kind of happened, didn't it? Right? Though Adric is usually at the bottom of the pile when it comes to companion rankings. Well, there's good reason for that. Jess says, who culture's own Sean Fedrick? Okay. Since his death in 82's Earthshock was one of the most, shocking moments of the show. Yeah, listen, the silent, titles over this badge, so much better than Rise Up. Ugh. So much so that, we did that, okay. Rather unexpectedly, Adric found himself in the news once again when Series 12 was on the air in 2020, with fans debating whether or not his death could have been presented. I never heard about this, right? The debate sparked when the episode Praxis, the Doctor uses the TARDIS to rescue Jake Phillips, who has decided to manually pilot a small spaceship after its autopilot fails. He can't. This is why I never heard of it. You can't use Jodie Whittaker, Doctor Who, as a touchstone for anything, right? Right before the spaceship explodes, the TARDIS captures Jack like a net, shielding him from the explosion and saving his life. Many fans, who cares? It's Jodie Who. It's not really Doctor Bloody Who. They don't really think through things in the same episode, let alone things from 30 years ago. Really? Forest of the Night. It was shit. Okay. What's the controversy there? It was shit. We all agree. It broke my heart how shit it was. It broke my heart how shit this whole season was, quite frankly. Right? I mean, Peter Capaldi was totally wasted. Missy was good. The Cyberman story should have worked, but didn't. Well, there's really 2 or 3 watchable stories on that. There's the Orient Express one, was that season, and the Flatline. That's basically it. Now let's have a quick look. Doctor Who episode guide. What else was that season? Who episode guide. Come on. Doink. You can do it. Come on, I'm pressing it. List of episodes. It's opening up. There we go. What was that? Season 8. Deep Breath, way too long. Into Dalek, I can rewatch that. Most people hate it. Robert Sherwood, not very good. Listen, really kind of painful. I tried watching that again recently. Time Ice isn't bad. Caretaker is like children's BBC. CBBS. Kill the Moon was awful. Mummy and Orient Express is not bad. Flatline. Mummy and Orient Express and Flatline are the only 2 rewatchable shows. Yeah, in that season. They really genuinely are. Anyway, so what's I going to say? The Forest of the Night has always been a controversial episode, but you might not realize just how much it split fandom in 2. I don't remember. I wish I was running my channel back then. In 2016, the 12th Doctor was voted the most divisive Doctor Who episode ever in the Radio Times, beating out the 12 Doctors, Sleep No More, and Kill the Moon, as well as the 6 Doctors' Ventures on Paris. Ventures on Paris is awesome. I mean, it's super violent, man. That season 22, it was so violent. That's quite a feat. So what earned Forrester Knight the not so coveted title? On a positive side, the Series 8 adventure was praised for the creative premise. People wake up on Earth to discover the planet has been completely covered by a large forest, and its lighter, more fairy tale tone refreshingly contrasts from the darker episode of the series. Didn't work at all. Did not work at all. Detractors labeled it aimless, timeless, aimless, threatless, and felt there were far too many silly moments, forcing the then showrunners to jump into events, calling it beautifully and elegantly written. It wasn't. It was a piece of shit. Okay, it was a piece of shit. Let's all be honest. It's rare that showrunners jump into these debates themselves, proving just how divided viewers were on this episode. Perhaps less plotting script make more standout scenes, like the Doctor's awesome deleted speech about untempered schism, which I never heard of that. Which would have made much more positive than polarizing. Let's see if it takes us to that. Okay, do we have here? Okay, let's play this. Why would they delete this scene? It sounds like it's going to be awesome. Come on, you can do it. Maybe we'll watch it on YouTube.
Gallifrey. That's what I saw this before. During our initiation, they made us look into the untempered schism. Everyone sees something different. I saw a forest rise and fall. Saplings that thickened into trees. Leaves that sucked in the sunlight from 1,000 million summers. The great trees falling, sinking into the earth, hardening into diamonds, coal. I saw it all. Rise and fall, like the wave of a sea.
So you're saying this is something to do with Gallifrey?
Time is a function of gravity. Gravity is a function of time. If we could see the sky, would there be an unexpected planet there?
How did they cut this out? Are they out their minds? This is insane. This is so good. How did they cut this out?
But Doctor, Gallifrey is gone forever.
That was good, man. So much bloody better than that episode. Yeah. Oh, man, that was good. Damn.
Doctor.
What was it?
The word for...
There you go. The Session 1 Master ignores Mrs. Redemption arc. Yes, it's shit. Look, it's Jodie Who. Anything Jodie Who is shit. It's just the way it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, what are we up to? Okay, let's, I'm trying to decide if I can bring myself to read this. I'm going to do it. Okay. Though few people were actually expecting Missy the Master to be gone for good after soaking up the laser sonic screwdriver. Can I just point out that she knew that was going to happen because she saw it happen when she was younger as John Sim, right? So she was probably wearing some kind of shielding. Again, not because fans expected the Master to be dead, but rather because the latest version of the character played by Sacha Baron felt like a step backwards rather than it wasn't even the Master. It was just like this annoying portrayal. Then Big Finish Lumiere story, which I hated, fills in gap between Missy and the season 12 Master. Just leave me alone. I mean, he's probably sticking around. God, I hope not. I hope we're not going to mention any of this again, but he's the one the most likely candidates come back. And I know Rusty Davis is very, very concerned with making the Jodie fans feel welcome, right? Because he thinks he lives on Twitter too, right? Come on. Next slide. It's thinking about it. What's that? Okay, that looks like Splash. Man, that I recognize an arse from 50 meters. Yes, that's Daryl Hannah and Splash. Well done, Daryl. Can we go to the next bloody page, though? I mean, much as I like Daryl Hannah and Splash, come on, let's try that again. Oh, this is agony. Oh, there we go. Are the Daleks overused? I don't know. I don't think so. There's an old urban legend that the Daleks are contractually obligated to appear at least once in every season, supposedly due to an agreement with Dalek creator Terry Nason and BBC. They're a very important part to Doctor Who, right? They are a very important part of Doctor Who. Fine, I can't. We'll look at the Sixth Doctor. Fine, this I'll stay in time to look at. A cursory glance at any rankings will demonstrate Colin Baker's Sixth Doctor is one of the least popular. Not the least popular. We know who that is. Digital Spy and Radio Times have them at the bottom of their fan voted lists and some of our own rankings on what culture. Right? Okay, we agree. It's a similar story. Just open up in front of me. It's a similar story with episode polls too, with Baker's debut series, The Twin Dilemma, being voted televised Doctor Who's worst outing, not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. Okay, no, it's The Timeless Children. That's what everybody hated. For God's sake. Where with hardcore Whovians, though, it's slightly different story. So sure, it's not like he suddenly shoots to the top of the people's list, but there's no question that the love for Bakers has increased in recent times. He's kind of squandering that away right now, I have to say. The reason he was more loved is because he felt he didn't get a fair shake, and Big Finish redressed that balance, but now the stuff he's doing hasn't been good. I'm out the Sixth Doctor range in general, right? It's I'm really not interested in it. So basically, I'm out the Eighth Doctor and the Sixth Doctor. I'm not buying the Ninth Doctor set with Liv and Tanya in it. Listen, I hope they're able to, and I'm not saying this in a snarky way. I just hope the product isn't so niche they can alienate viewers to this extent, paying customers to this extent. With Hardcore Hoovers, it's a slightly different story. Sure, it's not okay. Blah blah blah. Indeed, many agree that the Sixth Doctor works far better on audio. This is something of their own. Tom Hobson noted in 2020, Big Finish enhanced the Sixth Doctor, Collins incarnation and Sick with Joy. Yeah, he did, but again, he hasn't had a good story in literally years. They've all been woke and annoying and poorly written. All this to say that, in your opinion, Sixth Doctor probably depend on whether or not you're an audio listener. Again, Jodie makes everything better. It makes literally everything better. Should the Doctor become romantically entangled with a commander? Really, no. Right? Really, no. I don't think so. I was able to cope with it one time. But really, no. As well. Clara, Ho, and Hellbent. Okay, what's this thing? From a shock debut in Series 7's Asylum of the Daleks, it was clear that Kara also was going to be a companion, the likes of which we've never seen before, like an annoying one, essentially. She should have gone after the first year of Capaldi. Over the coming months, we're certainly to be proved true, with the name of the Doctor revealing that she was born to save the Doctor, having splintered herself, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we know. Continuing the theme of being a Doctor-like character, Series 8 even saw Clara on the occasional fill-in. Yeah, I know, nobody liked it. Most notably in Flatline, when he was unable to leave the TARDIS. This continued, and she was still better than Jodie. That's by a long way. And this continued the emphasis on a character-led accusations that she was being overused, with detractors saying, according to Clara to Who. I think it's a fair thing to say, right? I think it's a fair thing. It was kind of Clara Who. It is somewhat understandable that these fans felt that Clara was overshadowing not just the Doctor, but the show's previous companions. And she was. Yeah, she gave me a head. I really fell out of Doctor Who for a little bit. I saw every episode, obviously, but when Bill Potts came in, I found her a breath of fresh air, and I didn't really mind the constantly being told she was a lesbian, right? Yeah, I was like, fine, she's a lesbian. We understand. It's somewhat understandable that these fans felt that Clara was overshadowed, not just not blah blah blah. We did all that. Plenty of viewers found Jamie Cole's bubbly performance hard to dislike. Not me. Got really irritated me after a while. And Stephen Moffat did garner some points for attracting new, actively avoiding the same old companion role that we've seen a million times before. The Clara controversy peaked with the season 9 finale, Hellbent, in which criticised her for undoing her death in Face of the Raven, as well as doubling down on a desire to be the Doctor. I actually think that's the only logical place the character really could have gone to, right? Because they build her up and up and up and up. And that really should have been the TV show, the spin-off show they wanted. They wanted a female-led show. But foolishly, they did not. They said, oh, no, we'll make Jodie Whittaker the Doctor. Should the Fourth Doctor have destroyed the Daleks? Well, we know if he did now what happened, and it was a bad idea. One of the greatest moments in Doctor Who, right? But I really recommend Timeless Child, obviously. It's just... That's how it makes most people feel, right? What we're looking at right now. That's how it makes most people feel. It's something of a more controversial moment than the timeless Doctor Who history than the law-shattering revelation of the season 12 finale, The Timeless Children. That's why we don't like it, and it's not decanonized itself. Oh, God, she's so shit an actress. It really is. These episodes told us that Doctor Who isn't exactly a Time Lord, but a mysterious being from another universe, one with the power to regenerate indefinitely. The DNA from the Timeless Child gave Time Lords the ability to regenerate, meaning that the Chosen One, the foundation of the... Oh, God, stop! Oh, I don't think I can do any more. It was Chris, leave me alone. The revival sent shockwaves through fandom, many feeling that it was unnecessarily convoluted and even disrespectful to the show's pre-established history. Also made it shit. What was even the point in 11's regeneration cycle and the time of the... nothing makes sense. Do River's regeneration powers even make sense now? No, nothing makes sense. To some, it's even boring and largely inconsequential. The Doctor can regenerate indefinitely, and, well, that makes there's no stakes, right? One way or another, what would it happen anyway? For as long as the BBC wanted to show the Time Lords lied to the... it's just boring and annoying and pointless, and kept her passing. Yeah, Rusty Davis is wiping all this away. I'm sure he is, and that's why I think he's working hard to keep Jodie fans on side, because he's going to wipe this all away. That would make sense. The Doctor has never got along with their own kind, and this is one of the reasons still going on. While the discourse of the Timeless Child skews largely negative, there are those who appreciate how it opens up to explore the past Doctor's past. Not really, it doesn't at all. It just makes it more boring. And again, when Joe Martin's future Doctor, oh look, it's an angry, snarling black woman with a big gun. All we ever see in TV now is boring. All in all, the Timeless Child is still one of the most debated topics. It's going to be forgotten forever. It's going to be forgotten for absolute ever. Fine, let's have a quick refresh if there's anything going on about it in the comics. Sega, I don't care. Reviewers failed to notice Nintendo Switch, but I don't care. Gaming, don't care. Disney's Lightyear star Chris Evans throws his full support behind pro-murder organization that help for women's abortions. A little bit spicy way of putting it. Warner Brothers Discovery reportedly cancelled HBO Max's The Flash spin-off series because Ezra Miller continues to be a nightmare. Yes, he does. And it's so much fun, right? It's so much fun. I was going to do this story. Oh, I don't think I got the energy. I'm fading fast. I can't do it. I can't do it. I might do it as a video. Well, I really can't look at it right now. So there we go. There we go. I think the Orville was a bad allegory for transitioning, for children transitioning, and not to stand in their way. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to hear Seth MacFarlane talk about it, right? 1 second. Let's have a look right now. We'll do Seth MacFarlane, Tale of Two Topers. Was it How do you spell Toper? Topers, maybe? Yeah, hopefully Google will just fix it. Seth MacFarlane, Tale of Two Topers. Let's see what Den and Geek has to say about it. Hang on, I'm on the wrong thing. Let's see how they're interpreting it, right? Because I think that makes a difference. Here we go. Doink. I guess it's an eye of the beholder thing, really. I saw HMV are now saying Leia lightsabers. Oh, piss off. Oh, God, everything. And they wonder why children are confused. They're confused because, there we go. The Orville New Horizons continues a dramatic and political season with a very topical episode. Orville blah, blah, blah. Seth MacFarlane. Halfway through its rebirth, it's repeatedly shown just how new their approach and storytelling can be this season. Mercer, indeed, and MacFarlane himself seems to have evolved, and with it, a more dramatic Orville that's really found itself a careful balance of impactful, dramatic story moments. Okay, but what were they saying in this episode? MacFarlane, once again, triple duty, yeah, blah 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 blah. In the premiere, MacFarlane wrote a powerful intro story. I agree with that, about xenophobia, PTSD, and suicide. Yes, I think he did an excellent job with that. Fine. Instead, the real story begins when Topper, Imani Palom, son of Bortus and Clyden, on a opens up the grey zone, recognizing symptomatic okay. Recognizing this is perhaps symptomatic of Topper's gender identity and the reassignment surgery. Second, let's see what their conclusion is. Man. Coleman for my 1 second. Let's go over here. However, while this episode features tremendous moments of the actors shedding real tears, you don't know it's real tears under heavy prosthetics, to the point where you forget they're wearing prosthetics. The script still needs a little more. The mention of the subplot and the massive hole in the story simply because it has no bearing on what's happening at all in the episode. Fans have been perhaps harsh on the crew members, Edson Burke and Winters, who could eat fine, but I want to hear what they think about Topper. Granted, all this happens from time to time. Coleman, for as much as he brings to the episodes as a believable counter-argument, there has no counter-argument in this episode. There's trapped within the escapable Mobius strip of the script. Clyden's entire arc is merely scream, threaten, and get physically restrained, repeat. He gets threatened a lot as well. Surely this episode does show some nuance, but there was more nuance to be found in Clyden's character, including tapping into his birth story, in which he was a biological female, which motivates him. There we go. The direction has certainly given fans some heavy subjects at times. So it all depends what he's saying with it, right? He simply has been satisfied to educate. It all depends what he's saying. I just assumed he's saying that it's he's pro-gender reassignment. And honestly, that's still what I think. That's still genuinely what I think. Her coming to blows with Clyden over what's best with Topper didn't seem over the top of force. Yes, because she's a white woman. Let's read it. All of those around Topa want what's best for the child, but are caught up in the cultural objections. Parental discretion and even union politics give way. I don't think it gave it well-rounded at all. I really don't. Collider. Why? Okay, why he's grateful to Hulu? Oh no, this isn't. Yeah, let's see what this happens. If he talks about this episode, finds its truth in a tale of two topas. But what is its truth? Right? What is its truth? Come on. That's not opening up. That's really the question, right? That is really the question. Topa. Yeah, again, no, I don't think they consider the gender reassignment at the beginning to be a gender reassignment. I just don't. I think maybe this is going to be a Rosetta Stone. Once we hear Seth MacFarlane talk about this, we'll know what his intentions are, right? I am reasonably sure. But yeah, you two have unshakable faith. So there's that. I saw two topas tell of detransitioning and how compelled transitioning is wrong. Okay, listen. People have different opinions to me. I still think I'm right. Right? I still think I'm right. And I do. I still think I'm right. I would love to be wrong. Frankly, I don't really care because I'm enjoying what's it called again? I'm enjoying Strange New Worlds like really immensely. I'm sad it's the last episode. And I found this series of the Orville to be a real drag, right? I thought last week's episode was pure trunk derangement syndrome, and I think this one is pure transitioning, right? Pro children transitioning. I don't know. I was rock solid before I came on here, so you made me think. Look at it that way. You made me think. I think Seth wants to have his cake and eat it. He was hedging his bets. I don't know. I don't think he was. Well, let's find out. But you know what? I'm going to go find out. I'm going to find out how much trouble I'm in because I think I ate the corned beef that I shouldn't have done. And I think I'm in trouble. But hopefully, a couple of hours gone by, my wife will have calmed down. If I go upstairs, and you see the. I will let you know. On Thursday. On Tuesday. On Tuesday when I do my next stream. Fine. I'm wrapping this up. I'm hitting the end broadcast button. Hitting it again. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another.